North Dakota Sports welcomes you back to the Ralph Engelstad Arena for continuing coverage of the 49th State High School Hockey Tournament. Once again, I'm Lee Timmerman, and as we are halfway through our semifinals, Bismarck advances with a win over Central, and we're getting ready to set up game number 2. Fargo South will take on the other team from Grand Forks, that is Red River. So South and Red River have met twice during the regular season, but they have not played since January. Both those regular season games were in January. And as I throw it back over to Scott Peters and Tim O'Keefe, you know what? I like the fact that these two teams have had that little bit of break and didn't play last week. It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lee. It seems so often when we get to the semifinals that there's teams that are meeting for the 4th time because they've met in the region tournament. Not the case here, so there's been about a month off between these two.
Yeah, I thought Lee Timmerman would be showing a little bit more glee than this right now. I mean, it's, you know, by now he's usually punched out of the tournament from Weston. First time in 17 years. His guys are in the finals tomorrow night. A great effort certainly by Bismarck in the first game. This will be interesting. I mean, certainly Red River comes into this tournament. Lots of experience, lots of success. Fargo South with the 3 state titles, but they have been the team to beat all year long, and certainly they come into this game the favorite as well.
They have beat Red River twice this year. It was 4-3 in that first meeting, 6-3 in the second meeting. Well, Tim, your keys to this second semifinal game tonight.
Well, it's kind of funny. We do these before the semifinal games start. I ran into Matt Malm in the hallway a little while ago, and I said, what's the key for you tonight? First thing he said was, we cannot play from behind. We have to take the lead in this one. In the spark plug for certainly the Red River Roughriders, and the guy who was named the Player of the Year in the East, Russell Crary, he's got to have a great game. He cannot miss anything. He'll have some opportunities. He's just that kind of player. And Red River has to win the special team game. There's just no way that they can lose that and win this game. For Fargo South, they have great goaltending, and they certainly have big expectations of Buckles, and he'll have to step up big tonight. They've got that big line, you know, Peter Orson, a terrific player, but he's got a lot of help along with them on their lines, first and second line, and they'll need them to come up big. And they have the experience. They certainly have the experience, this Fargo South team, and they will go into this game as the favorites.
This is a rematch of last year's semifinal meeting, and you talk about Peter Orson, one of the guys that we're certainly going to focus on. A nice game yesterday, a goal and an assist helping Fargo South to that quarterfinal win.
Well, there's a guy that wore that number 17 here a few years ago by the name of Brandon. You remember him?
I do.
Askew?
Mr. Askew, yes.
And very similar players in size, very quick. You know, he's a cousin of the Spicers from up here, which would have been an interesting matchup had Central made their way through and South. But he's a very, very good player. He does it all, and he's been terrific all year long, certainly, for these Fargo South Bruins.
And I think that those same adjectives you could use for this gentleman right here, Russell Crary, a goal and 2 assists yesterday, and is the East Region Player of the Year.
Well, and very similar in size, both these guys. Both have great feet, quick hands. Very similar players. I'd say the one difference is probably a little bit more help on the Orson side of the equation, and sometimes Crary has to do a little bit more himself to make it happen. He's got a very good center in Leducer. They play very well together, and those two, if they don't come up just huge tonight, I don't think Red River's got much of a chance against a very deep and very good Fargo South team.
Well, it starts with the goaltending for Fargo South. In fact, Scott Buchholz was named on the all-tournament team a year ago here at the state tournament. And Aaron Mellon, you see him right there. Actually, Grand Forks Red River has rolled with 3 different goalkeepers throughout the season. Mellon, the senior, though, getting the start here again tonight for the 2nd day in a row.
Well, 3 good goaltenders they've had. But Buchholz has been the story from the start of the year to the end of the year. They've played a very difficult schedule. Those are just phenomenal numbers, almost 93% of the save percentage and 164 goals against. And again, they just simply expect that he's not going to give up many in any game, and especially one of this magnitude.
Yeah, they have a lot of confidence in him, and you ask Dave Benson, he says sometimes almost too much confidence in him as well. Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight for both teams, Fargo South and Red River. For Fargo South first, Cooper Stelrecht is on that top line. He is a junior, 15 goals on the season. Peter Orson, we talked about him. He's got 24 goals, 27 points, top scorer for Fargo South. And centering that line, Josh Hughley, he is is a senior, 11 goals, 16 assists on the season. The top defensive pair is David Burdick. He is a senior, and joining him is Matt Wagner, also a senior. He had an assist in the win last night. Burdick, by the way, a goal and 2 assists, and that's in front of Scott Buchholz. He is the goaltender for Fargo South, and Dave Benson mentioned him in his first year taking over for Dean Wilson this season at Fargo South. Starting lineup for Grand Forks Red River looks like this. Jake Leducer centers that top line, 56 points on the season, 21 goals, 35 assists. Russell Crary, we talked about him, a goal and 2 assists yesterday, 22 goals all told on the season. And the third member of that line, we're going to talk about him, I think, an awful lot tonight. Luke Johnson, he is an 8th grader on that top line, 9 goals and 17 assists for Luke, who wears number 7. That top defensive line, Keith Howe, he's got 14 goals, 11 assists. He is a senior, and he is paired with Ian Leier, also a senior, 2 goals and 4 assists. And we mentioned Aaron Mellon. He is the starting goaltender tonight for Matt Malm, who is in his 10th season at Grand Forks Red River. We will take a quick break, and we will be back to drop the puck in our second semifinal game right after this. Welcome back to Engelstad Arena in Grand Forks. Just moments away from our second semifinal game. Bismarck High has already punched its ticket to the championship tomorrow night with a 4-1 win over Grand Forks Central. Next up is either Fargo South or Grand Forks Red River. Both teams winning rather convincingly yesterday. South was a 6-0 winner over Bismarck Century, and Red River a 5-2 win over Minot High. That after being down 2-0 in the first period of that game. But like that game, I think that game kind of typifies Red River's season. Up and down, I think would be fair to say that they've had some very good play at times and some other stretches where just haven't quite played as well.
Well, and most of the talent on this team, they have 7 seniors, but much of the talent is young. And, you know, so consistency and things like strength, what have you, those tend to come as you get a little bit older. And for this Fargo South team with 10 seniors, a little bit different story. Most of that talent resides in the upper end, and you know, this is just a very experienced team that, again, comes in the tournament as a favorite and certainly comes into this game. Red River needs to do some damage early in this one in order to, I think, really have a chance to come out of it.
Again, these two teams have met twice this year. Both wins by Fargo South, 4-3 in the first meeting, 6-3 in meeting number 2. They did not meet in the East Region tournament. There you get a look at Dave Benson in his first year. Talked to him a little bit earlier in the evening, and admittedly was about as or probably more nervous than the players. It was his first state tournament game yesterday and picked up a win, and stakes get a little bit higher here in the semifinals.
Looks young enough to play.
He does.
Of course, he coached most of these guys in Bantam, so they're not unfamiliar with one another. And there's now what can be called a salty veteran in Matt Malm, and he's got on the tournament fuzz on his face there, as he often does. And there you see the Red River Roughriders over in the corner, and down at the other end, the Fargo South Bruins. They're both teams ready to go.
Again, this is a rematch of last year's semifinal, a game that was won by Grand Forks Red River, and en route to a pretty exciting championship game that went 3 overtimes. Last year's semifinal win was a 3-1 Rider win over the Bruins. And it looks like we're ready to drop the puck. It's Hughley and Leducer. And Fargo South, Matt Wagner chasing it back. And up ahead to Orson. Into the Red River zone. Mellon can't quite stop it behind the net. Wagner will send it back in on toward goal. David Burdick is out there on defense for Fargo South. Centering pass gets knocked back into the corner. Fargo South controlling the first minute of play here in our second semifinal game. Now comes away to Keith Howe. Shot back in, gets deflected back behind Mellon. And now the Riders able to get it out of their zone to neutral ice, and they'll dump it back in. Wasn't quite at the red line, however, and it's an icing, and we'll bring a face-off back to the right of Mellon.
Oh, that'll frustrate a coach. Leier just needed one more step to get it across the red line, get it on deep, and he can get the line change he wanted to make, but instead the face-off come all the way back down into his zone to the right of Mellon here. 15:59, as you say. Fargo South starts out with a quick tempo right off the opening face-off.
Josh Huey with a couple shots, both get deflected by Jordan Bancroft. And now Chris Wayne skating after it. Leaves it for Bryce Anderson. Knocked by David Mauck there of South. Chance here for Sorensen. The centering pass goes right through. Huey takes a whack at it. It's Grant Narveson, number 11 for South. Knocking it back, looking for Tyler Sorensen. Casey Fugelberg, number 23 of Red River. And I introduce you to most of these players as they get their first shifts of the game. And Sorensen will knock it back to Danny Lukey. We talked about some of the football players in that championship game. Danny Lukey, Josh Huey, a couple of them, both playing defense for Fargo South. That one brought in offside.
Yeah, that experience of multiple sports, which you don't often see anymore. And certainly playing on other successful teams, like I said earlier in the Bismarck game, it tends to have a carryover.
Matt Winkle's trying to dump it in. That's Ward Briggs with it. He'll send it off into the corner. Tie up with Keith Howe. Now it's Kyle Raisler. Gets centered. Wagner trying to dump it back in. Briggs now tries to center it, and it's cleared away by Leier. Howe sends it along the boards, but does not get out of the zone. Briggs in the corner, centers it. Nobody there for Fargo South, and it's cleared back out of the zone finally by the Riders. Dumped back in by Kyle Raisler. And it finally comes free. Josh Hughley tries to center it. Cooper Stelreck looking, finally shoots, but that one too high. And Wagner able to keep it in the zone and dump it back in. Hughley around the boards. And South controlling possession here in the first 3 minutes of this contest. I think Fargo South probably looked as good as any team yesterday in the quarterfinals. Now Howe rings it back. Stays in the Rider zone. And now finally here comes Red River. It's Keith Howe who sends it right in on goal. Buchholz will cover up.
Funny how it works, isn't it? All that time of possession, and the first shot on net goes the other way, and Buchholz with the easy save. But clearly Fargo South has come out here with a lot of jump, and this first few minutes of the game they've definitely had Red River on their heels.
Sorensen and Ledusser on the draw. Mauck tries to dump it ahead, but can't quite connect with Narveson, and we'll have a face-off back in the Bruins zone.
Again, Fargo South here is the home team. They have the last change. And clearly, again, David Benson showing his confidence early as Red River with their big line out. And he's not afraid to not be matching up here at this point, as he's got a second unit out, Sorensen, Mauck, and Narveson. Veteran unit.
A nice tackle right there by Sorensen, and that will result in our first penalty of the second game here as Sorensen goes to the box. First power play opportunity for Red River.
And the junior knew it right away as he came over the back of Russell Crary. And virtually immediately, as you see in the Farmers Union Insurance replay, headed right off the back to the box. And check that was Bryce Anderson, the senior defenseman he came over the top of. 21 and 11, about the same size.
Mauk with it, and he'll dump it back into the Rider zone.
These are the situations for Red River to have a good chance in this game they've got to take advantage of. Win the special teams, as we noted, is one of our keys.
Arvidsson almost had a chance there, and Hui knocks it out of the zone. And Hui back after it again, a big whack at it, and that will go all the way in on goal. Mellon steers it away.
Three on one.
Chance here for the Riders. Centering pass, and it goes all the way through. Bancroft is back. Dumps it into the corner, looking to connect with Howe. Bancroft again, looking to pass off to Crary, who just can't quite connect on that one. And here's Luke Johnson, the 8th grader, back up top to the point for Howe. Bancroft with a shot. It gets deflected off of Ledoucer's skate. Goes just wide. Now Crary behind the net. Hui on him. Back up top. Bancroft thought about it. Crary with the shot. That gets steered back behind the net. Now a centering pass. Crary still with it. Dumps it off to Ledoucer.
On that shot for the point, you saw Luke Johnson set up nicely in front, trying to get the tip. Instead, the puck just kind of hit him and bounced away.
25 seconds to go in the man advantage. Burdick for South will able to dump it back down. 20 seconds to go on the power play.
Good puck control by the Ledoucer line. Just had a tough time getting it in the net, but they moved it around well and very confidently, and now we're down to just 4 seconds left here, and the man advantage for Red River. That'll do it.
Fugelberg and Burdick battling for it. Puck sent back up top. Anderson back into the corner. Stelrick, Sorensen rather, with it for Fargo South, trying to center it. He's got a man there. It was Ward Briggs, and tried to catch it and take a shot. Couldn't quite control the puck. And now the Riders able to get it back out of the zone. Fugelberg racing after it. Burdick gets there first. And a whistle.
This is a linesman, I think, maybe making a call. Too many men on the ice. Let's see here. Yep.
Well, South player is going off.
And the call was made by the linesman. My guess is too many men on the ice. In any event, South is going to go back killing a penalty here again. And Red River right back on the power play with another opportunity, and he comes right back out with a Ledoucer, Johnson, Crary line.
Lukey.
Look at the strength
See
there.
the size there, Lukey and Johnson. Lukey will walk on and play football at North Dakota State in the fall. Ledoucer dumps it back into the corner, looking for Crary. Hui backhanded up, South trying to get it out of the zone with Orson. Howe will dump it back in. Now here's a chance for Hui. Possible 3-on-2 here for Fargo South. He dumps it off. Orson was there, tried to make the centering pass, looking for Stelrick. And that one gets knocked back behind Mellon. Orson still battling now. South will back off a bit as the Riders regain possession. 1 minute to go in the man advantage. Shot there by Crary. Hits a skate. Bancroft will wind up. It's deflected into the corner. Ledoucer back up to Bancroft. Rister deflects high over the net. Howe back over to Bancroft. Another shot, and that's deflected as well. Hui and Ledoucer bang on the far side, and it's finally cleared out of the zone. 32 seconds to go in the man advantage for Grand Forks Red River. 8:50 to go in our opening period. Now down to 20 seconds on the power play. Fugelberg has to come back to get it.
An 8th grader and a 9th grader. Fugelberg, the 9th grader. Two pretty good young hockey players out there.
Wayne can't quite find the handle. Fugelberg with it. Briggs on him. And that will do it for the power play. So South has killed off back-to-back power plays here in the first period. Puck stays in the Bruins zone. Wagner after it. And the pass just out of the reach of Hughley, who had just come back on from serving that penalty.
Well, again here, Scott, it's pretty evident here early in this one which team is the bigger and more physical team in Fargo South. They'll pretty much get a piece of you whenever they can. And they use that size advantage. It'll wear on you over the course of a 51-minute game.
That was evident in our first game. Icing waved off. Burdick after it, leaves it for Wagner. Now a turnover. Shot there that went wide. That was Matt Stern who was on the ice for the Riders. Stern with it, centers it. Peter Orson there though to get it for South. Now dumped back in. Wayne trying to clear the zone, cannot do so. Raisler hounding Wayne. Rings along the boards. And finally back out to center ice, and Lukey will chase it down. Icing called first, however, with 6:58 to go. No score. Grand Forks, Red River, and Fargo South.
The World Under-18 Championships roll into Fargo-Moorhead this April, featuring some of the best athletes in the world. This is your chance to see the future Olympic, world, and NHL stars compete.
It's the first time ever in the United States and hosted by the all-new Urban Plains Center and recently remodeled Moorhead Sports Center. Tickets are now on sale at the UP Center box office or through Ticketmaster.
The World U18 Championships coming to Fargo-Moorhead in April. Be there. Be a fan.
Welcome back to the Ralph. 6:58 to go in our opening period, and no score as of yet. Off the draw, Lukey will keep it back in. Briggs looking to center, does so. Raisler was there, couldn't quite find the handle. It's centered again and knocked away. Finally, Crary comes away with it for the Riders, trying to get around Lukey, and the puck knocks behind Buchholz. Lukey. Chance in front there. Buchholz never really had it. Whistle blew. Buchholz wasn't sure where it was. Good opportunity there for Grand Forks Red River.
Well, the tempo of the game was changed by the two Fargo South penalties. If you look at the shot clock, throughout this first period, much of the play has been carried by Fargo South. They've yet to get a shot on that. Red River with just two chances going the other way, but each of them have been decent opportunities with Buchholz making the save.
Narveson up the other way. That pass too far for Mauk, and that will be icing. So another face-off back in the Bruin zone.
Well, Narveson, big, strong senior winger. Just a little off on that pass, but also had a very good year here with 16 goals. Fargo South, much like Bismarck, lines himself up with two very strong lines, and then scoring tends to tail off. But they got a couple of defensemen on each of their first two rotations that get an awful lot of goals as well.
Sorensen, path just kind of opens up for him as he skates in. Looking for some help. Now dumps it back in the corner. Well, trying to cycle the puck. Mauk after it. Tries to get it back to the point. Burdick has it, but it's picked off. Now a chance here for Crary. And he gets crunched up along the boards by Burdick. Burdick sends it back to Wagner.
That was a good play by Burdick. He gets around him. He's gone.
Stays in the zone. Wayne with the shot. That hits Burdick. Narveson now with it for the Bruins. And that pass again a little too far for Stelrick. And Hughley can't quite keep it in. Here come the Riders. Bancroft with it. Centers. Buchholz didn't quite see where it was. It was right in front of him, but it gets knocked away.
Fugelberg, I think, got the shot on net there. A nice pass, good communication between Fugelberg and Bancroft. resulted in a good opportunity for Red River, and they've definitely picked their play up here.
Here's Bancroft trying to get around another defender. Can't do so. The puck gets sent down the ice, and another icing with 4:55 to go in the first period.
So, Scotty, over the last 4 or 5 minutes here, the ice kind of tipped the other way. Fargo South came out off the opening faceoff, had Red River in their heels. Here's the play on the Farmers Union Insurance. And you see Bancroft, or Fugelberg rather, from Bancroft get the shot on net. Buchholz, Johnny on the spot, blocking off the side of the goal there. And still nothing with 4:50 left here in the first.
Brock Dahl was right there on the doorstep as well. Now a chance here and a shot pad save. There's Bancroft winds up and lets it go. That one goes into the net.
Let's watch his turnover here. You never send it up the middle, and that's why. Bancroft right there, and Lukey sends it up. Should have sent it along the wall, and Buchholz is really nice, Scott, the way he sets up. He's always on top of the puck. His lateral movement is really good, and he showed it there where he had to be set up quickly.
Here's Briggs, a possible 2-on-1. Shot and a save by Melland. And here comes Grand Forks Red River the other way. Stern leading the charge. Dumping it off, and a couple players go on a shot there. In traffic in front. And now finally cleared out of the zone. Wagner has it for South. And Wagner loses the handle. Keeps it in the zone, but only momentarily. Sorensen now back with it. Looking for some help as Josh Heiss is on him. Now Narveson, Mock with him. Narveson's shot is deflected. Burdick sends it back into the zone, but the Bruins have to touch up. Now off the glass, back to center ice. Sorensen for South will dump it back in. Hui up against the boards, trying to keep it in. Sorensen flips it in again. Narveson trying to center, comes all the way back to the blue line. Lukey with the shot, right on goal, and Melland is there.
What a great look there. The Melland got at the shot, and a good low shot it was by Lukey. That's what you're supposed to do. Farmers Union Insurance will give us another look at it. Comes back to the point. Lukey lets it go real quickly, but Melland had a good avenue to see that one well, and he does a nice job controlling the rebound, taking the face-off off to his left. 3:23 left. Not many shots here in the first cut. Just 7 between the two teams. Fargo South, that's their 4th of the period. Red River with 3 down at the other end.
Quick shot there off the face-off. Hits traffic. Back to center ice. Hui trying to keep it in. Here comes Ledusser. Ledusser with a shot. That hits Hui. And Lukey brings it around the boards. Orson back to center ice. Hui with it now. Puts on the brakes. Spins around. Orson tries to center. Melland sticks that one away. Lukey dumps it back in. Riders able to clear the zone. Crary with Stelrich, or Hughley rather, right in his pocket. Another dangerous pass there, but it connects for South. That one does not. Then it'll be another icing with 2:37 to go in our opening period.
Well, Luke Johnson, the little freshman, of course, his father, Steve, having coached in Lincoln, All-American player, Hobie Baker finalist, national champion at the University of North Dakota. Son obviously picked up an awful lot of Dad's skill set there and a little bit of the hockey sense along the way. And the Riders get caught in a late line change here and are forced to make a change. But very impressive, the two young guys, Fugelberg and Johnson, not intimidated out there and playing with guys much bigger and stronger than they are as they're so young.
Race back for the puck, and Keith Howe gets there first. Now Bancroft with it. The shot, it hits Burdick. Second try goes wide. And Howe didn't get much on that shot. Now Burdick with it. He'll just dump it in. Howe goes back to get it for Red River. 2 minutes to go in our opening period. Burdick again dumps it in. Raisler will do the same. And that one right over Dave Erickson, our cameraman, and into the stands.
Pretty good crowd here for the semifinal game. Good carryover. Two good semifinal games here. Bismarck Demons relaxing, getting ready for their first final in 17 years, and trying to figure out which one of these two teams they ought to be scouting a little bit harder than the other.
Well, I think Fargo South is a team that's an awful lot like Bismarck High.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know what? If I'm Bismarck, I think I'd probably prefer to play the team in red. Simply because you've played Fargo South twice. You haven't played the other team.
Shot there by Narveson, right on. Mellon makes the save.
No real damage or quality chances this period. Only 9 shots. Take a look at the Farmers Union Insurance again here. Easy shot. Good look off of Narveson's stick for Mellon to make the save. Down to 1:16 left here in the first.
Huey with a shot that goes wide. Orson racing after it, trying to take control of it for South. And he gets upended. And the battle continues. Now South comes away with it, only for a moment. Stelrecht has it knocked away. And now Wayne with it and tries to get it up to Stern. Stelrecht goes back in his own zone to corral it for South. It's off the skate of Orson. Now Stelrecht with it. He's got Orson with him. Stelrecht with a shot, but that hits Anderson. Now back to the far side as Lukey keeps it in. Anderson with a kick save there. Almost a 2-on-1 opportunity there for Red River. The pass just too far ahead. And Johnson has it knocked off his stick. 13 seconds to go. Johnson now racing after it. Lukey on him. And Lukey with it, and he'll hang on as the horn sounds for our first period.
Little size disadvantage there.
Lukey and Johnson.
About 5'5", 5'6", and 6'4". You know what? I'll tell you what. This for Matt Malm, he's got to be very satisfied. On their heels for the first few minutes, nothing. Hold Fargo South to 6 shots. On the other hand, certainly David Benson only giving up 3, but I think he would like to come out of this period with a little something more.
Well, let's find out what Mr. Benson thinks. Brian Shaw, go ahead.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Coach, both teams kind of feeling each other out there. No one really seemed to get the big momentum swing, but you must feel like your team's playing a little more physical than they are right now.
You know, we are playing physical, but right now we're losing the neutral zone. I mean, pucks are bouncing around all over the place, and we just need to settle it down and get the puck deep and get a few more than 3 shots on net. What
are some other keys are going to be? They haven't really seemed to be able to get a whole lot in front of the net. You guys seem to do a good job clearing them out, at least on the defensive end.
You know, we are clearing them out in front of the net. There's a few times there where we're panicking, though, and we just need to, again, settle it down and get the puck, on the stick and see what we can do.
All right, sounds good, Coach, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, back up to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Brian Shaw with Dave Benson. No score after 1. South and Red River in our second semifinal game.
It's after 1 period here of our second semifinal game, and this intermission report is brought to you by Nodak Mutual Insurance, proud supporter of North Dakota athletics. So through the first 17 minutes, Fargo South and Grand Forks Red River scoreless, 0-0. One interesting thing about Grand Forks Red River, this is the 42nd time the Roughriders have made it to a state tournament. And they've been eligible to come here 42 times. That's right, Red River has never missed a high school tournament. Let's go down to Scott Westerberg now as we're between periods. Scott?
Yeah, I'm here with a parent from Red River. It's number 12, Russell. Period.
Well, it was kind of a slow first period. Not a lot of offense on either side. Not many shots on goal, so we're hoping that we can pick it up here in the second period.
Is this what you think right away?
I think so. If we can keep the goals down against this Fargo South team, they're a pretty explosive team. I think we'll be able to stay in the game here.
You got on the team. You had son play 2 years ago. Talk about having some kids to the Red River program.
Oh, it's been great. The kids Red River program is just a great program. You sure can't this atmosphere, high school athletics, and the state tournament is great. And I know our kids through the high school had a very good experience.
Now, having a son that's a senior, I suppose, mentality with last for him to skate.
It is. He's a senior this year, and this is his last opportunity to get a state championship. He's been skating for Red River for the last couple of years now. This is his third year, and we're hoping that we have some good results here at the end.
Now, last year, obviously, it ended in a pretty disappointing way. Do you talk about that? Does he talk about wanting maybe right or wrong there?
Well, we'd like to get back to that championship game. It was last year, of course, but this is a new season, and we'd like to get back to that game again.
Talk about just everything that Red River's been to hockey. They've been to 42 state tournaments. It's just an incredible program and an incredible run.
Well, they've got a great tradition at Red River and Central also. Grand Forks has got some great hockey programs, and we hope to continue some of that tradition here tonight and into tomorrow.
And playing in Ralph Engelstad Arena, that's got to be pretty special for your son. I'm sure he looks forward to it every year.
It sure is. They really enjoy playing in this arena. It's a great facility.
Now, third periods, what Red River needs to do if they want to take down this Bruin team?
Well, we certainly need more offense for sure, but I think on the defensive end too, we need to be able to slow them down. Like I said, they can be a very explosive team, so hopefully we can keep them in check in defense and get some offense going.
All right, Tim Crary, father of Russell Crary, number 20 for the Rough Riders. LT, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you very much, Scott. I mean, we mentioned Red River being here 42 straight times, the most state tournament appearances. Grand Forks Central in number 44, and the Fargo South Bruins right now playing in a state high school hockey tournament for the 35th time. We are between periods. It's our first intermission, and it's brought to you by Nodak Mutual Insurance. We'll be right back. Our first period break is brought to you by Nodak Mutual Insurance. We are scoreless in our second semifinal game. Bismarck High defeating Grand Forks Central earlier tonight to make it to that championship game. And as I throw it back to Scott and Tim, you know, it seems like it was my sense anyway that this building, meaning the people in it, the fans more so than the players, just were kind of waiting for a reason to get excited in that first period. And I don't think they found it, did they?
Well, if you like, I guess, defensive hockey, it hasn't been too bad, but the scoring chances have been really few and far between for both these teams.
Well, the game started with so much more energy than the first semifinal did, and Fargo South looked so sharp. They had a lot of jump, but they just couldn't get the puck to the net, and it really continued that pattern throughout the period. And as it wore on, Red River just got better and better. They got through a couple of power play opportunities. They had some chances, and they finished very strong. So, as I say, I think Matt Mall probably felt a little bit better than David Benson going to the locker room.
Well, we don't have any scoring to show, but we have scoring chances from the first period, and that's really about it. And not many quality chances, I wouldn't say, for either team.
No, not really. Red River had a couple chances that were a little bit more inside, but you're not going to get them by buckles very easily, and certainly really not a lot of quality opportunities either way.
Well, let's take a look at our first period stats, and they're brought to you by the North Dakota Certified Seed Industry. And we talked about Fargo South really dominating play early on. Their shots didn't come until later in the period, however.
No, they were almost 10 minutes into the game before they actually had a shot on net. They did get 6, and Millen was able to stop all of those. Down at the other end, Buchholz with 3. All 3 were really relatively right on top of them. 2 penalties on Fargo South. They killed them both off successfully, and that's a pretty quick wrap. That was the first period. There a lot of action between the blue lines and not an awful lot of offensive opportunities either way.
Probably not a surprise, though, when you get two teams that know each other so well that you have a game like this.
Well, probably not. I mean, again, South has the experience coming to this game. They're a little bit deeper. They are the favorite. Red River, as Matt Malm noted, and we talked about in our keys, it's important for them to not get behind early. They got through that. They'd like to take a lead here in the second.
And he's got to be pretty happy that we are at a 0-0 game, because as long as they can hang around, you know, Fargo South, the favorite coming into this one, had won twice earlier this year. Matt Malm's team, the longer they hang around, the better.
Well, he's happy about a lot of things. Certainly coming to this, shots on goal. For Red River, they didn't give up many, and you take a look here at the shot chart. He pretty well kept them on the perimeter, the one chance inside, but that was a good look. That was an Orson shot that Mellon got it squared up and stood up to it very nicely. And you're not going to give up any goals either way here when you only give up 6 at one end and 3 in the other. And as you see for Red River, I think the second one of the closer ones there was a bit inside of that, but then the third one way on the outside that Buckles got a good look at. So a lot of action on the perimeter, not very many good chances for either team.
So we're scoreless after one. We're moments away from period number 2, and it's coming up after this. Welcome back to the Ralph. You see on the bottom of your screen, no score, getting ready to start our second period. Well, play coach again. If you're Fargo South, what do you do to try to create a little bit more offensive opportunities?
Well, one of the things that Fargo South does very well, and they do it because of this guy, Buckles. They have a lot of faith in him. They transition very well. They'll often fly the wing. Orson in particular will fly out of the zone. They simply have got to try and break through the perimeter and go to the net hard and create some chances. They had a couple times that they came in the zone where the guy with the puck had a chance to make a pass to somebody in a great shooting position. They didn't make it. That's just communication. It might be a little bit of nerves in a semifinal game like this as well.
And for Grand Forks, Red River just getting shots to the net. Very important for them because, again, Fargo South defensively a lot like Bismarck High that we saw earlier.
And they played well the first period. And, you know, as much as they can, they want to try and get the puck to Crary. He's the guy with all the speed. Ledoucer's a great finish guy. They both, actually, Ledoucer's got a few more points than Crary does, the junior. And the senior Crary. Two very good players. You see Orson and Crary here as they line up for the opening faceoff, talking to each other and chatting back and forth. I'm sure that's a friendly discussion. But you get a good idea how similar in size they are. And the minute that the puck drops here, they won't be quite so friendly.
Now both teams ready, just waiting for the clock to wind down, which it now has. 17 minutes put back on. And the countdown continues as we start second period here at the Ralph. No score. Josh Hughley, or Orson rather, racing after it. A rebound chance there for Hughley. Another rebound gets deflected into the net. But a great scoring chance just 10 seconds in for Fargo South.
Well, and that was a great save by Mellon and a fat rebound that came out. And Hughley just couldn't get his stick to it. But you saw Orson burst out of the zone, and the speed. Here you take a look at the rebound as Stellick got it. And just up off of one of the riders and into the net. Farmers Union Insurance gives us another good look there. And the Riders dodged a bullet here in the first 17 seconds here. And a little repair of the ice down there from all that flopping around there back and forth, making the save. But a great shot by Orson and a nice save by Mellon, keeping this at 0-0. There's that transition too, Scott. We talk about this Fargo South team. When they see a little bit of open space, they'll go hard to it. And this big line with a lot of speed as they make their way down. If you're a Red River parent like Tim Curry, the last guy you want to see coming in that net is Peter Orson with the puck on his stick.
Now we're ready to go after cleaning up the ice a bit. And Red River trying to get a charge up ice here as Prairie gets pinned up along the boards. Now it comes to Ledoucer with a shot that gets deflected and goes wide. And the Bruins now take control and get it out of the zone, but it gets knocked back in by Ledoucer. Back to center ice and into the Rider zone. Hughley trying to get control, does so for the Bruins. Looking for some help in front. Orson is there on the doorstep. Oh. Mellon shuts the door.
Oh, and Peter Orson had lots of time, and Mellon nicely moved across, stayed squared up, and we'll take a look here. Farmers Union Insurance replay. Look at the communication between Hughley and Orson. Orson set up perfectly. He had a little bit of space. There's a guy that wears 1-6 for the Fighting Sioux that has made a living throwing him up from there up into the upper corner. But a good chance for Orson. He's unable to put it away.
Good scoring opportunity, but here come the Riders as Fugelberg gets dumped off the puck. Bancroft after it. And he centers. And that either hit the side of the net or maybe got a piece of Buckholz. Centering attempt again. Gets caught in the skates. Still loose in front. Now flipped up to center ice by Sorensen. Comes all the way down, and Anderson has to retreat for it for the Riders. Gets sent back to center ice. Huey takes a whack at it, and he'll go back to get it again. Huey with it up to Mock. Narveson has it go off his skate, or stick rather, with Sorensen. Backhands it back to Narveson. And Mock gets tangled, and finally a stoppage, and a face-off will come to the left of Mellon.
Well, Fargo South, a couple shots this period. 8-4 the shots. Of course, none of them going behind either goaltender. 0-0 here with 15:03 left in the second.
Third line out for Fargo South. That was Winkles on the draw. Ward Briggs and Kyle Raisler battling for it. And that gets through everybody back to the point. The shot right on Mellon makes the save. Wagner will keep it in. And the Riders able to clear the zone. Now here's a chance for Helene. Can't quite beat Burdick to the puck. And it comes to Wagner. And backhanded around for Raisler. And it's dumped up to center ice and all the way in. Mellon has to steer it aside. And Anderson circles around back behind his own net for the Riders. And here they come. Wayne with the shot. Buchholz glove save, and he'll hang on. And Wagner tries to push him out of the way. So Wayne came in, gave a little spray to Buchholz.
A little harmless bumping going down. The face-off will come to the left of Buchholz. Again, the Farmers Union Insurance replay. You're going to look at it exactly like Josh Buchholz here, and you see he gets a good look. That's an easy save for the junior goaltender. That'll be his 5th of the night, and up to 10 for Fargo South down on the other end. And Mellon's played very well as well.
Johnson has it go off his stick. He was kind of like battling his own teammate Leier there. Not taken away by Orson at center ice and brought in offsides. Hughley was just a step ahead of Orson.
Boy, it was more like just an inch, if at all, ahead of Orson there. And they had a 3-on-2 opportunity, just got a little anxious there, and Hughley just gets across the line. As you get a good look there at Peter Orson, the junior forward and leading scorer for the Fargo South Bruins.
Huey sends it into the Riders' zone. Mellon there to stop it. And now it's almost cleared out. It's kept in by Huey. Now there's a chance here for the South. Can't quite pull the trigger on it. It gets sent back up to neutral ice, and Lukey will dump it in. Leier trying to connect on a long pass, does not, and it'll be an icing and a face-off back in the Riders' zone. 13-16 to go as you get a look at Matt Malm in his 10th year at Grand Forks Red River.
Quite a track record and run here that Matt Malm has had. With these Red River Roughriders, continue their string of being in the state tournament every year, and has a few championships under his belt as well.
Now loose puck in front, and Narveson raised his arms. He thought it had gone in, and some bumping now has waned. And Sorensen, I believe.
Going to take them both. But yeah, Narveson thought that one. We'll take a look here again on the Farmers Union Insurance replay, and it looks like it's slipping under that pad. But just at the last minute, Mellon gets that big pad over there, and he holds on to it. It's not going anywhere. He's got it nice and tight there underneath. And penalties will go against each team here. And we'll keep it at 5-on-5.
Now Fugelberg comes away with it, and he'll ring it around the boards for the Riders. And still along the boards. Now back to center ice, Narveson. And he'll get it off to Briggs. Mauck is with him. Mellon makes the save. Pushes it aside. And Fugelberg now with it for the Riders. And he gets sent to the ice.
And his reward for it's an icing. He was a couple steps short when he tried to shoot it in, and David Burdick, good-looking senior defenseman, strong offensively and shows some of his defensive strength there too. Here again in the Farmers Union Insurance replay, he gives a little good evening.
Quick shot there, hits a shin pad. Now it comes back up to Huey at the point. The wrister gets deflected into the near corner. Now back up to Lukey. He'll dump it back in. Stelrecht is there, as is Orson. Orson with it as he gets pinned up along the boards by Zowie. Lukey will send it in on ice. It's deflected. Steered away by Mellon. Hayes has it taken off his stick. 12 minutes to go in our second period.
Good forecheck here by this top line of Fargo South. Sustaining the pressure.
Stern has it knocked off his stick. This is Matt Verke headed for Red River. Huey loses the handle. And Lukey sends it back up to neutral ice. Mauk will put it in the Rider zone, but only momentarily. Now Lukey racing after it with Zowie. Big collision there. And Narveson comes away with it, but he has it taken away. It's Johnson. Centers it. Shot. Deflected by Narveson. In front. Fanned on the shot from the point. Mauk comes away with it. A 3-on-2 opportunity for South. The shot there saved Mellon. Orson with the shot on the rebound. Mellon covers up. Pushing and shoving after the whistle. No harm done.
Big Lukey setting up inside there, and Peter Urson coming back in the slot, you'll see here. Looking for the pass, and you can see the stick just back there. But taking the shot, Mauk from a pretty good angle, and Mellon is just doing a terrific job here of squaring up on every shot, controlling the rebounds. Look at him coming out. Look at the angle he's cut down here, Scott, on the Farmers Union Insurance replay. A great look. And he makes the save and puts the rebound off the corner and eventually controls it.
Back to live action. Crary with it, looking to cut the corner. He can't quite do so. And the puck back to neutral ice. And sent back into the Bruins zone. Burdick after it, back to center ice. And dumped back in by Brock Dahl. Wagner gets it out of his own zone. And back to center ice. Bancroft off to Fugelberg. Fugelberg with the shot. Buchholz right there in his midsection. 0-0. Still 10:25 to go in our second period. We'll be back with more from the Ralph after this.
Here comes Casey Fugelberg. And again, a good look as Buchholz saw it right into the heart of his chest there. Just holds on for the rebound, and we're back at live action, Scott.
Yeah, back to live action. Another shot there from the point that Buchholz steered away. And now a chance here. Pass too far for Winkles as he catches up to it. Bancroft back to corral it for the Riders. Bancroft still with it. Brings it into the south zone. He gets bumped off the puck by Briggs. Huey with it. The head of steam, trying to circle around, gets the shot off. Pad saved by Mellon. Now dumped in by Fugelberg. Narveson sends it back to center ice, and this is Raessler with it. Raessler winds up, and the shot gets caught up in Anderson. Now a chance here for Crary. Crary's got help. Johnson leaves it off. Shot too high by Ledusser.
What a great pass. Boy, talk about poise for a young guy. Nice pass to start it off by Russell Crary, but Luke Johnson in a shooter's position. Wow. He saw Fugelberg make that Ledusser coming in, put it on a stick, and it must have bounced a little bit because he wasn't able to get it on net.
Bouncing puck here. Now comes to Ledusser. He gets bumped, stays with it. Prairie puts the brakes on, circles back. Leducer trying to center it for Johnson. That doesn't quite connect. Now Burdick with a chance as he dumps it into the zone. Burdick with it again after it deflects off his skate. And good chance there by Narveson and just can't quite connect. Burdick winds up, takes the shot. That goes high and wide. Narveson with a rebound try. The puck is right there in front of the pad, and Mellon covers up.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott Buckles has a lot of the attention between the goaltenders coming into this one. Mellon has been 15-shot terrific in keeping Fargo South off the boards, and there are two great saves here. Here in the Farmers Union Insurance replay, you see the shot coming out the stick of Burdick. It's a little wide, but Narveson is right on it, and the rebound there very quickly again is wrapped up by Mellon. A couple of terrific saves here in the middle part here of the second period. Suddenly the shots are starting to pick up here. That's 9 just in the second here for Fargo South.
Wayne's shot gets deflected by Hughley. Now here's a chance for Fargo South. If Orson can catch up to it, he can't. Wayne gets there first. And Wagner will send it back into the zone. Wayne puts the brakes on as he gets hounded by Stelrek. And it gets back out of the zone, and Huey will chase it down for Fargo South. 7:40 to go in our second period. Huey with it again for the Bruins. Wayne battles him. Along the near boards, now a shot by Lukey. Blocker save by Mellon. Huey will send it back towards the center, and it goes through everybody. Stern trying to backhand it out of the zone. Now it finally does come out of the zone, but Huey will dump it back in. Anderson racing after it for the Riders. Tries to get the long pass up ahead, and here's a chance for Red River, and a save there by Buckholz. Good opportunity by Helene. The puck is somewhere under a couple of bodies. I think Lukey is down there. Zowie's on top of him.
That pass is clean to Helene, and he's not only in, he's in with a lot of time. As it was, he had to catch up to it, and his shot came off a bad angle. But Buckholz again, nice and alert on top of it. 6:47 left in the second. Fargo South now doubled up the Riders in shots, 16-8, but it's still nothing on the scoreboard, in large part to some terrific goaltending by the senior Aaron Mellon for Red River.
Couple of 16s at the draw. That was Leducer that won that one. Now Malk with it, tries to feed the pass to Narveson. Doesn't connect, but stays in the Rider zone. Now comes back out. Here's Johnson with it. Johnson with the shot through the screen, and that gets steered wide. Now Leducer trying to battle. It gets centered. Sorensen there to steer it wide. Now a chance here by Narveson. Howell's going to get there first, and he'll clear it out of the zone. Wagner dumps it back in for Sal. 6 minutes to go in our second period. Briggs tries to stop it. Gets bumped off the play, and it's brought in offside.
Well, you saw another nice set of hands and decision making by Luke Johnson down there. Sign him to a tender. I like his gene pool. 5:54 left in the second. No score. And Red River doing a nice job here. Hanging around, getting great goaltending. Not giving anything up here to Fargo South after early in this game just kind of being on their heels.
Briggs centers it. Oh, and a chance there for Winkles, who couldn't quite get the brakes on it and get a shot off. Now Bancroft centers it, and that pass doesn't quite connect. Puck bounces all the way through the middle, and now flipped back up to center ice. Dumped back into the south zone. Winkles gets it out of the zone, but it's sent back in. The Riders will have to touch up. And that gives South a chance to corral it and start a rush up ice. Huey's shot goes a little wide. Wayne flips it back to neutral ice. And Burdick with it, trying to connect with Raisler. He gets spun around. Orson with it for South. He falls down, gets it back around behind the net. Stelrich racing after it. And Wayne spinning around as well. Fugelberg will flip it out of the zone. And that one will be icing. 4:40 to go. Still no score. Period number 2. Welcome back. Time for the Farmers Union Insurance Fan Cam. Farmers Union Insurance, proud supporting sponsor of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. That's about as much as the fans have had to cheer for. It just seems like they're waiting to explode here.
Been church quiet in here. Like an Ash Wednesday service.
Stelrich backhands it in, and that's right on goal. Mellon make the glove save. He's made a few of those in this game.
That's been one of the easier ones this period. Fargo South came in with 6 shots. They now got 17. Red River with 4 coming into the period. They're now up to 11. So a lot more offensive activity this period, but nobody been able to dent through either goaltender.
Hughley racing back for Fargo South. And finally it's cleared away. Crary up to Johnson. Looking for Crary. Now it's Leducer. Back to Crary. Looking to center. That gets taken away. Hughley dumps it off. Orson. Hughley with it. He gets upended as he tries to get the shot off. Now a shot there by Wagner's. Stopped by Mellon. Wagner gets it again, but Leducer sends it back around the boards for Crary. He's bumped off by Burdick. Burdick looking to center. Nobody there for South. And now it's poked away. And we'll have another icing. No, it's been waved off. Burdick looking to get something started. Hits his skate, however. Bancroft will send it back in. And Wagner after it again. Bancroft battling him. Orson has it knocked off his stick. And it's swatted back deeper into the zone. Bancroft gets there first. Tries to center near the side of the goal. Fugelberg looking for some help. Leier at the point with the wrister. That gets all the way through. I don't think Buchholz ever saw it. Now it's loose in front of him. And finally a whistle.
Yeah, the good quick shot came from the point by Leier. And it was wide of the net. Buchholz didn't see it. And right there was Bancroft. Just kind of knocked it down with his glove. Tried to bring it out in front. Here again, Farmers Union Insurance get a good look at it. Bancroft just tries to knock it down. It goes off the side of the net. He pulled it back out front. Buchholz was able to get a hold of it and tie it up.
Now South able to get it out of the zone. Narveson will dump it in. Wayne gets there. Sorensen ties it up, and that goes wide. Huey trying to get the shot off, does so. That one high. Narveson, the shot that goes through the crease. Huey hits it off of his teammate's skate. And Leier will go back to get it started. That's off the skate of Leducer. Stays in the Rider zone with 2 minutes to go in the second period. Wayne finally gets it out of the zone. Narveson pins him along the boards. And Johnson with it now, looking for Leducer. Over to Crary. Crary leaves it back. Johnson's shot is high. Johnson again looking to dump it off to Crary. They can't quite connect, and Lukey takes it away. Briggs with it back up to neutral ice, and a collision there knocks a couple players off the puck.
Hand pass.
Finally a whistle.
Well, minute 22 left here. As they would say in Ireland, it's been forth and back here without any real scoring opportunities here for a while. No penalties since the two Fargo South penalties in the first period. So been, even with the 19-11 shots, been fairly evenly played, and Red River continues to give Fargo South, the favorite in the tournament, all they can handle.
Puck dumped back in behind Mellon. Now Briggs looking for some help. Can't find any. Has it knocked off his stick.
Down to the last minute here. A goal in this last minute for either team would be awful big going into the third.
Winkles can't keep it. Now knocks it away from Fugelberg. Now there's a chance for Fugelberg. That shot deflected early. Centered right in front, and a chance at a goal! Brock Dahl with the goal. You said, Tim, in the last minute of the second period, and the Riders take a 1-0 lead.
Boy, and what a great set of communication down there. Bancroft, who's had a very strong game for Red River, he caught Dahl all alone out front. Here you see on the replay. A little late to react are the Bruins, and just up over the glove of Buckles is Dahl with the only goal so far in this game. As he slid it in. Take another look at it. And it just kind of went off Buckles. He might like to have another look at that one. Might have fooled him a little bit of a change up there. But nonetheless, for the Riders, a big goal here to take the lead late in the second.
Huey with a shot that gets deflected, and Mellon makes a glove save.
Down to 29 seconds. The 12th shot of the night for the Red River Roughriders. Into the net it goes. Here you see it down at the other end. A little shot from the point by Huey as it goes off the stick, and Mellon with another good look at it. And the Riders here, good chance to take the lead to the locker room here after two.
Al Leducer comes away with it, and he'll dump it into the zone.
Smart play, just wants to get out of the period. Got it down in deep.
Stelrek with it for Fargo South with 12 seconds to go. Stelrek still with it. A shot blocked. Leducer gets it back out of the zone. Lukey dump it back in, and that will do it for period number two. A period that was pretty quiet until the last minute of the period, and Red River gets on the board. Brock Dahl, the sophomore, with his 5th goal of the season, his 2nd of the tournament, puts Grand Forks Red River on top 1-0 with 17 minutes now to play in this semifinal contest. Scott with Matt Malm. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, guys, I'm here with Coach. Talk about the late goal. How important is that going into the third period?
Well, it's enormous with just like a minute left, and it's a good hard work goal. Jordy Bancroft made a great pass to Brock Dahl and just stuck with the puck, so that's a huge goal.
Now, it's been kind of slow-paced early the first two periods. You're taking a lot of shots. You've been able to stop them. Is this what you wanted to see the first two periods?
Well, you know, I thought South really played us pretty hard that period, and I didn't like the quality shots we gave them. I don't care if they're perimeter, but too many quality chances. We can't give them that many.
What do you tell your guys now going into the third period?
Well, we need to play to win. We can't just play to hang on. You know, we have to keep doing the simple things, keep the puck down low on them, and keep working.
All right, good luck in the third period, Coach. Thanks. Guys, send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. Red River now with the lead, 1-0, thanks to that last-minute goal in the second.
It's our second intermission, and this period report is brought to you by Nodak Mutual Insurance, proud supporter of North Dakota Athletics. Well, a final minute goal. It came at 16:12, scored by Brock Dahl. Of course, Bancroft got an assist and a second assist to Casey Fugelberg, his 10th of the year on that goal and the only goal of the game. So the Riders take the lead when heading into the third period. Well, let's go down now to Brian Shawn as we have more on this Nodak Mutual Insurance period break. Brian?
All right.
right, thanks a lot, Lee. I'm here with one of my favorite hockey people, and I'm glad to have him. We can actually talk to him without him being in the heat of the moment for once. For the first time in 28 years, Dean Wilson not behind the bench of a hockey team. 18 years of South, 6 more at Shanley. What's it like being able to watch this up in a suite and not have to worry about all the pressures of a state semifinal?
That's kind of fun to chill out a little bit. I don't have to snap on you this year for asking me something stupid, you know. So yeah, it's been good, you know. It's but you know, I'm a Bruin through and through, so obviously I'm pulling for him.
What's it been like, I guess, just coming back and watching this team play? You got to be really proud of the way this team has come on, winning the EC regular season losses. Coach Dave Benson, got to be happy with what he's done with this program in his first year.
You know, we talk every day. You know, Dave's a bright and up-and-coming young coach. He's doing a great job. You know, great players guiding him, keeping him going. So he's having a lot of success.
So what the heck are you up to now? You don't have to all the pressures of hockey. You've been able to chill out a little bit. You're a principal now. A little more downtime for you?
Oh yeah, you know, my wife's got me doing laundry and cleaning up the house. You know, staying home, doing a lot of household chores that I've probably neglected for 20 years. You know.
What are your thoughts so far? First semifinal between Bismarck and Grand Forks Central. Bismarck, their first ever time going to the state championship since 1992, and they took on Minot, and the first time for a West School. Maybe a good thing for the state of hockey.
Oh yeah, you know, I think of Bismarck. You know, it's no surprise. I watched them beat South early in the year. They're the real deal. You know, they got a lot of great players. You know, and you know that Anderson. You know, he's a Western hockey player. I mean, he's a great player. Coaching staff. I remember Mike Luce when he played for Bismarck High. You know, those guys have the experience. They know what they're doing.
As you look at this game, 1-0 Red River getting a late goal here in the second period. You said it's really been cat and mouse. No one's really taken the great chance, and I think this is the type of pace that Red River wants to play at, correct?
No doubt about it. I don't like it. You know, like I said, I'm a South fan, but you know, they're cat and mouse, and that's not South's game. They got to get after it and pick it up a little bit. You know, it's 1-0. You know, they got a nice goal at the end there, and South's got to take some more chances and get a little more offensive explosion.
What does South have to do here in the third period? Do they got to attack the zone more, maybe pinch a defenseman now and then, try to carry more scoring opportunities in there?
You know, I think when you play a good team like South, you know, they're kind of lulling a little bit. You know, Matt Malm, you know, I've always had to respect him as a coach. You know, playing great defensive hockey. You know, shots on net. South's got to shoot more, get shots on net.
What do you think is the key for South? What hasn't been this year? I mean, Peter Orson, a lot's been made about him. That first line has done a lot of good things, but it seems like rolling 3 lines and guys like Danny Lukey back on defense, a pretty physical nature. What do you think has been the key for him?
Well, you know, tonight, like I said, it's still cat and mouse. You know, I mean, South stayed out of the penalty box. I always thought that was their Achilles. You know, stay on 5-on-5. You know, I just think they got to be more offensively explosive, take some chances, put the shots in net, more shots in net, and get after it.
Well, thanks for joining us here, Dean, and I'm glad you had a chance to join us as a spectator for once, and we'll look forward to chatting with you more of these down the road.
Hey, thanks. I'm glad I didn't yell at you tonight.
I am too, for the first time in about 5 years. It's a good thing to have. Lee, back up to you.
Well, at least you have that going for you, Brian. Yes, Fargo South right now trailing Grand Forks Red River. It's a 1-goal game. If you take a look at South's season, South has only been in 3 1-goal games. First game of the year was a 2-2 tie against Moorhead, and only once has a 1-goal game come against a North Dakota team. That team, Grand Forks Red River. It was a South victory, though. We'll be right back. Nodak Mutual Insurance is bringing you our second intermission of our second semifinal game. Bismarck is in the championship to take on whoever wins tonight, and we don't know who that'll be. It's been a very good one. It's a 1-goal game right now. And of course, the 2 goaltenders, Tim and Scott, play such a huge role. You know who you're going to get when you play South. I mean, Buchholz has only not started 3 games all year. Interesting thing, too, I guess, when you look at Red River with Mellon. Mellon did not start in the region until the qualifying game. It was a win over West Fargo, but Mellon, right now, the man in the hot seat.
Yeah, and he's been playing very well so far tonight as well, Tim. And he's got them shut out so far, does Fargo South, and it's a 1-goal game. And, you know, at this point, Red River's got to like the position they're in.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lee, speaking of hot seat, if you could send a little heat over here, we'll take it. Man, I'll tell you, it's cold in the Ralph tonight. But Mellon's the story of this game. Aaron Mellon coming into the qualifying game, he's just been spectacular. 23 saves against Fargo South through 2 periods. Many quality chances in those, and he's the reason that the Rough Riders are in the locker room with the 1-0 lead.
Well, there's one reason why the Riders are up on top 1-0, and that's Brock Dahl. Here's the goal. He came into this tournament with just 3 goals on the season. He scored 2 so far in the tournament. None bigger than this right here.
Well, all alone out in front. Again, just good communication. As you see, nice play there between Fugelberg and getting it over to Bancroft. And Bancroft, here's Brock Dahl out in front, and he's just able to slip it by Buckles and give the Roughriders the 1-0 lead.
How about our second period stats? Stats brought to you by the North Dakota Certified Seed Industry. South still leading in shots, but Red River leading where it counts.
Well, the quality chance is 3 for South in that period, 2 for Red River. But look at the shots on goal after a slow first period for both teams in terms of shots on net. 14 in the second for Fargo South, 9 for Red River. Of course, the big one, the goal in the last minute there by Dahl gives Red River the 1-0 lead. 14 saves down there for Melland and 8 for Buchholz down at the other end.
Well, I like what Matt Malm said after the second period, that his team can't play defensive now. You still have to go out and attack, and you don't want to sit back in a shell and kind of just try not to lose this one. You still got to go out and win this game.
Once they took the lead with the 48 seconds left, they kind of sat back on their heels a little bit for the rest of the period, which is really the right thing to do. You want to get out of it. They played smart, but they can't play 17 minutes of defense and win this game. They've got to keep pressing. They've got to try and get the next one, which will go a long ways in determining who the other team is against Bismarck tomorrow night.
We've got 17 minutes to go. Red River on top 1-0 after 2. The third period is coming up next.
The World Under-18 Championships roll into Fargo Moorhead this April, featuring some of the best athletes in the world. This is your chance to see the future Olympic, world, and NHL stars compete.
It's the first time ever in the United States and hosted by the all-new Urban Plains Center and recently remodeled Moorhead Sports Center. Tickets are now on sale at the UP Center box office or through Ticketmaster.
The World U18 Championships coming to Fargo Moorhead in April. Be there. Be a fan.
Welcome back to the Ralph. Take a look at the shots on goal here for Fargo South, and see a lot of red.
Well, I'm not sure who's measuring the quality chances and got 3 out of that, but you can see a whole bunch of activity around the Fargo South net, and actually a couple of shots from the point were screen situations, what have you. And again, Aaron Mellon had to be just terrific. 23 saves. You see the big star there out in front. That's the goal, the best chance of the evening. But pretty good work by Fargo South defensively to keep Red River on the perimeter for the rest of the period. Look at Lee Timmerman. Must be warm out in Bismarck. He's got that big park on in here now for the third.
Not shy about it. A whistle early as the puck goes over the boards.
Well, you can expect that Fargo South is going to come out here and take a kamikaze approach here on Red River here to start this third off, try to put the pressure on and get the one to tie it up.
There he is. It's chilly. Chance there for Fargo South. Burdick gets one on goal. Pad saved by Mellon. Orson tries to steer it around, but that's picked off. And here comes Red River with a 3-on-2 opportunity if Johnson can get a hold of it. And he's pinned up along the boards. Johnson gets it back, though. Shot high, and a rebound that comes away. Buchholz makes the save. Anderson will dump it back in.
Lee must do his shopping at Russian Army surplus, huh?
No comment. I got to work 3 more weeks with him. I'll be nice early on.
Another great play by the 8th grader. You don't say that very often in a state tournament. Luke Johnson, one nice strength coming off the wall, holding on to the puck, get the shot on net.
Shot there, deflected, rebound. Bancroft tried to stuff that in.
Fugelberg, the 9th grader, got the tip there, and boy, Scotty Buchholz had to really be on top of his game. Make 2 quick saves there, and a good start to this period by Red River.
That one through the legs of Stelrick. The last 8th grader I can remember here, and I may be wrong, but Mario Lamoureux played for Grand Forks Central.
He's still playing here. Albeit not in this tournament.
Lukey trying to get something started, and that one hops into the Red River bench. Another look at the Riders' chance.
Shot coming from the point again, and a nice tip there in the way in. Boy, Scott Buchholz had to have nice movement there. Again, really squares up, and the rebound Bancroft was on and off to the corner. shot from the point come from Chris Wayne.
Puck kept into the Riders' own. Wayne sends it along. Anderson just out of the reach of Mount. And Hui off the boards trying to get it back into the Riders' zone. Nice takes a swat at it and puts it back into the Fargo South zone. Hui after it for the Bruins. And Hui comes away with it. An opportunity here for Fargo South. Orson trying to find Hui. That's too far. Hui centers it. Nobody there for South. Now a steal. Stelrek gets ridden off by Zowie. Now Stelrek trying to jam it in from near the post. Mellon covers up and a whistle.
Well, Dave Benson probably got a matchup there he likes as he got his big unit out against Red River's third unit. And they worked him down low here a bit. As on the Farmers Unit Insurance replay, you see some banging around inside there as Hugolet's trying to get it to the front. Mellon does a nice job of keeping a beat on the puck and ties it up for the faceoff.
Shot there by Burdick that goes wide. And it rings around behind Mellon. Burdick stops it. And now a chance in front and a near goal. Went off a defender's stick, or skate rather. I think it was Johnson.
Well, we saw what happened in the first game on a redeflection by own defenseman. And Hugolet takes the shot, right off of Johnson's skate. You never like to see your goaltender look behind you, but again, you see how nicely he squared up with those pads down on the ice, and he holds on to it. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and he's been pretty doggone good all night long there. He might have been a little bit lucky to stop that one on the redirect.
And at center ice, Burdick dumps it back into the Rider zone. Around the boards, Sorensen with a shot. And a stop in front. It's a player without a stick. It was Narveson, but he's able to retrieve it. Narveson, Anderson battling for it. It's kept in on sides. Now it clears the zone. Wagner will dump it back in. Mellon leaving it for Wayne.
Oh, bad line change here.
Lukey trying to drop it back. That was Stelrek rather. Now a chance here for the Riders. Bancroft trying to get around Hui. Centers it off the side of the net. Another chance there. That was Dahl.
And boy, did Dahl have Fugelberg all by himself on the other side with nothing but net to look at. This line's been terrific for Red River.
Howe with a shot. That's deflected, and Buchholz makes the save.
It's again Fugelberg, or rather Buchholz makes a nice save here. Boy, he's had a couple of tough stops and redirects against this line, and that time it was Dahl again, the goal scorer, who made the tip. And again, you see in the Farmers Unit Insurance replay, it comes off the corner. Look at the tip here. It's going one way. Nope, it's going the other. And that one for Buchholz might have been missing the net a little bit, but nonetheless, he was right on top of it.
Mauch gets it back up to center ice. Burdick over to Narveson. Now behind the net to Burdick. Leaves it there, but nobody is home. Now Sorensen tries to center it. Mellon sticks that back aside. And now Fugelberg for Red River. Will send it all the way in, and Buchholz lets that one go wide. The long pass doesn't connect with anybody. It goes back into the Rider zone. Back to center ice. And a couple Bruins going off on a change. Stelrek will bring it in for Fargo South. Over to Orson. Orson with a shot. Mellon with another save.
He's just on it. And David Benson has shortened his bench down to 2 lines. Here again on the replay. Stelrek in the zone. Here's Orson calling for the puck. He's in deep, gets a quick shot away with a little screen. And the only thing you don't like about this is you don't want Aaron Mellon looking behind him after every one of these saves to make sure he's got it, but he's all over it.
Face-off comes to Crary. Crary winds up. That hits Huey. And Lukey able to send it around. Orson with it now for Fargo South. Back to Huey. And Huey will start the charge for the Bruins and send it all the way down, trying to connect, but does not. That's an icing. 11:28 to go.
Well, Scotty, the way this is kind of setting up here, you know, oftentimes in this situation would say the next goal will be from the team that wins, but you can really feel it in this one, where if Red River gets it, be really deflating for South, and it'd be very, very difficult. But if Fargo South gets it, you feel like it just might absolutely break a dam open. And they're 26 shots on net. They've doubled Red River up, but find themselves down with a little over 11 minutes left, down 1-0.
Wayne wins the race. Mauch gets the puck, though, centers it over to Narveson. The shot and a goal. He gets around Mellon, and we're tied.
Well, great pass coming across ice and off of the most innocent of plays. And Fargo South has had so much pressure. And again, just great communication. As Stelruck gets it across from Narveson, he's come off the bench. He makes a move one way, and you get a good look at it here as Farmers Union Insurance shows it to you. And Narveson with the good hands, and that ties it up at 1. The big senior comes in, takes nice time, makes his move, and puts it away, makes no mistake. Now let's see.
Well, does the dam come open?
Let's see how both teams respond. And again, right off the face-off, Red River starts making their way down ice, and you got to get to that red line to put it in deep. A step or two too short just doesn't do it. And David Benson's glad to see this face-off come all the way back down and right back out again with this big line to put pressure on.
Face-off 1. Burdick with a shot that goes wide. Wagner at the other side gets it. That shot deflected. Burdick will send it back in. Mock with the assist on the goal. Ties it up at 5:49 of the third. Fugleberg now has it. Bancroft is with him, but Fugleberg gets pinned up against the boards by Wagner. Now Bancroft with it, looking to center it in. Another deflection, and swatted out of the zone. Now back in where Wagner will get it, but the Riders off on a change. And that one sent all the way in on goal and a whistle.
Why would they call that a whistle? That's just simply a mistake. That'll come back to center ice. Must have been expecting
an icing, I think.
Yeah, he can't bring that down in deep. That's their mistake.
No argument from Matt Malm.
On their left. I thought that'd come back out. That's an official's mistake. Come back out over the blue line or center ice. But anyway, it's down and deep it goes.
Mauch and Zowie tie up. Now Narveson tries to center it back in. It gets through. Mellon.
Oh, and that was close again.
Mellon able to cover up. 9:51 to go. We're all tied up at 1 apiece. Welcome back. Time again for the Farmers Union Insurance Fan Cam. Farmers Union Insurance, proud supporting sponsor of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. 1-1, 9:51 to go. Huey with the draw, the shot, traffic in front. Lukey, same thing. Lukey gets it back. He'll send it in on goal. Mellon steers that one aside. Narveson. Boy, he gets tied up again with Zowie. Those two have really been going at it. Zowie's been mixing it up with a lot of players up there.
Well, Red River's rotating 3 lines. Fargo South is going 2. And they've got the heat on, and David Benson is not going to turn it down. He's going to try and amp it up, if anything. 30-13 the shots. Red River, I'm not sure they've had a shot this far. They've had 1 shot, I believe, on the deflection. Maybe 2. But all the pressures come from Fargo South, particularly since they tied it up. They're right back out with their big line again.
Anderson with it for Red River. Gets it back up to neutral ice. And now dumped back in, but momentarily Burdick will dump it back in for South.
And that's an interesting strategy, Scott, because you better make it pay. Because if it doesn't, the deeper the game goes, playing 3 lines and keeping people fresh might pay a dividend.
And sent back in by the Bruins. Well, you talked about, we see another save there, the goal by South possibly breaking the dam open. How important has it been that Red River's been able to sustain now for the last couple of minutes and kind of calm things down a little bit?
Well, obviously, the deeper they get in the game, probably the more they like it. It's a one-shot game. You get about another 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, but the pressure still is all going by the way of Fargo South, and eventually that usually turns into something good if you're a Bruin.
There's a shot right on, and another save by Buchholz. .8:20 to go, still tied up at 1. Malk trying to break through, trying to find Narveson, and it gets into the Rider zone. Leier after it. And he gets tied up by Malk. Leier spins away, and Hui trying to keep it in the zone. And it gets sent all the way down. Fugelberg racing after it. Lukey on him. Now sent back. Hui will get there first. He takes a whack at it. Malk gets it all. They had a chance for a break there with Sorensen. Couldn't quite connect. Now Malk back at center ice. He gets ridden off the puck. And it's sent back in. Here's a chance for Crary. Stave right there by Buchholz.
He stuck right with them. They had the 2-on-1. Luke Johnson was in front. The defenseman had him.
Orson can't quite stop it. Hughley battling along the near boards. It's sent right in front. And a great scoring chance there by Stelrek. Mellon steers that aside. Burdick winds up and shoots. That one deflected into the corner. Orson centers, and Crary is there. He'll lead the charge. Johnson skating ahead of him. Crary brings it in, trying to go through the defender, but Burdick puts him down to the ice, and Buchholz will cover up.
Well, they've done a nice job neutralizing Russell Crary tonight. You haven't called his name very much. He hasn't had a chance to use that explosive speed. We've actually seen a lot more of Luke Johnson off that line, but you never discount the player of the year in the East in Russell Crary. It only takes one chance, and he's pretty likely to put it away. Down to 6:44 left, and we're approaching that time zone where it begins to become a one-shot game.
Burdick behind his own net. It's a couple of riders right in his face.
Or you could say one mistake game too, a lot of times, the way that works out.
Narveson the other way for Fargo South. Across the line, tries to center, can't connect. Shot there, goes wide. Burdick back for it. Sends it back into the zone. It's in front. Malk with a shot. Rebound, steered away. Another good chance there for Sorensen. And an icing.
Boy, what in this line certainly has picked it up of Sorensen, Mock, and Narveson. They've got the goal this period, and they've had several good chances since then. Take a look on the replay here, and Sorensen saying, man, that's about the third great chance that just has kind of been around me. Haven't been able to get my stick on here in the last couple minutes.
Orson trying to get it back toward the goal, and it comes away to Bancroft. Bancroft still with it, off the side of the net. Bancroft still with it. Now Dahl, he's got the Rider goal. Back behind him. Bancroft centers. Still loose in front. Now finally South comes away with it. 3-on-2 opportunity for them. Puck deflected, bouncing in on Mellon. He can't cover up. And comes back to center ice. Riders will change, and that allows South to corral it. Orson across the line.
Long shift by this top line.
Now here's a chance for Leducer. Leducer, the shot save. Buchholz rebound is just out of the reach of Crary. Now it's flipped back up to center ice. Inside of 5 minutes to go.
Become a two-line game both ways. Deep in this one. That was offside.
Offside.
Yep.
4:48 to go. Still a 1-1 game. Well, Aaron Mellon's been really the story of this game up to this point.
Well, it's 1-1, but here's why. We came in the game talking about Scott Buchholz, and certainly Aaron Mellon has met every test but one that he's seen tonight. 31-18, the shots, Fargo South. That one's a little high, but he's seen an awful lot of rubber from the get-go in this one.
Well, the face-off to the right of Mellon.
Real quick shifts now, both ways. Again, it's become a two-line game for both teams.
Wayne sends the puck around. Wagner trying to keep it in. Does so. Mauck loses it. Wagner pokes it back in. Fugelberg sends it back out of the zone. Wagner puts it back in. Burdick dumps it in. Anderson chases after it for the Riders. Oh, and a funny bounce off the boards. A shot in front. Sorensen's just wide. Wow, that was a strange carom.
Tell you what, you just never see that happen here.
Another shot, and Mellon will hang on.
And another quick change it will be. We're going 30-40 seconds. The longer shifts have typically gone the Fargo South way. They don't want to get caught too long, but we're pretty well lined up now with the big line. Here you see that funny bounce. Must have hit the absolute crack there, and where the Zamboni door comes out. Red River got away with that, but the top line for each team lined up, the second line for each team lined up against one another.
Lukey's shot deflected, but that goes wide. Now a chance in front. Hui, rebound was right there for Orson, but it's wide. Now another chance in front, and Hughley can't quite connect. Another shot, Mellon hangs on.
Oh boy, great pressure by Fargo South, and you know, Mellon, great play there to make the save. Farmers Union Insurance. Lukey steps in and Mellon makes the save, but most importantly he holds on, and another quick change. We'll get just 18-second shift there, and Fargo South will keep that same big line out.
Riders win that draw. Each draw now, face-off so important. Back in, still in the Rider zone. Mugler still with it, dumps it back. Bancroft, though, is there for the Riders, and he sends it back, trying to get one of his teammates on a break. Fugelberg looking to get it over to Dahl, and it's cleared back out of the zone. Wayne can't quite come up with it. A chance here for Stelrecht. He has it bumped off his stick. Wayne now over to Bancroft.
They've got this line out of gas.
Bancroft with a wide open look. That one's wide. Now here come the Bruins. Orson tries to center. That's knocked away. Dahl gets it back out of the zone. Mauck is there at center ice, and he'll send it back in. And the Bruins go off on a change. Now it's sent all the way back down, and that'll be an icing. And a face-off back in the Rider zone with 2:35 to go.
Well, you see Matt Mall making his way up and down his bench, jacking his guys up, encouraging them. He's got to be awful proud. They came into this game pretty significant underdog, and it is down to that one-shot territory. 33 saves for Aaron Mellon. Down at the other end, 18 for Scott Buchholz. Great goaltending at both ends.
Bruins win the draw. Shot, Mellon there for the save. Now taken out of the zone. Johnson gets around one defender. Wagner there for the Bruins. Pass behind him, Narveson. And it's out of the zone, back to center ice. Dumped back in. Burdick gets it back out. Nearing the 2-minute mark. Crary racing after it. Burdick on him. Wagner and Crary battle for it in the far corner. Now it comes out in front. The shot stopped in front by Burdick. Now Malk with it. He gets pinned along the boards. And Hughley gives it over to Burdick. Dahl at center ice, looking to get it back to a teammate who wasn't paying attention. Howe circles back to clear it, and we'll have another icing.
I wouldn't necessarily be totally surprised to see one coach or the other take a timeout here. And I'll tell you, the team that has a little bit more jump right now seems to be Fargo South, even though they're taking the longer shifts. Some of the young guys, Luke Johnson, what have you. That's exactly what happened here.
Fargo South has taken their timeout.
Some of the young guys, Luke Johnson, what have you. I mean, physically, this is quite a game for an 8th and a 9th grader to play in. But the short shifts really are going the way of Red River, which is a smart thing to do, but Fargo South seems to be able to sustain the longer shifts. We're down to only 88 seconds left as it is, and maybe we can listen in a little bit here on some of the strategy. We need a little bit more of a bass voice down there. Tony Bina we could get him. Let's see if we can hear maybe David Benson. Well, here we go. Good timeout. Good timeout call. Minute 28 left. You feel like you're in a next shot win category here. Let's see who gets it. Or are we going to go to time and a half?
Well, Hughley with it for the Bruins. Back up top. Huey with a shot right on Mellon at the save.
Nice job winning the draw, controlling the boards, getting it back to Huey. Here, Farmers Union Insurance, you're going to look at it exactly like Mellon did, and you probably could have stopped that one too with that good a look. That's his 35th save on the night. Again, the Bruins win the draw. The shot goes wide.
Now Orson battling for it. Ryder's able to get it back to center ice. Huey there for the Bruins, and will send it back in.
One team looks right now like they're playing to win, and the other looks like they're playing for overtime. They better be careful.
Huey's shot's deflected. Now a chance, and an icing.
That's a big mistake. He wanted to get that one off the wall and give Bancroft a chance to get to it. If I was Matt Malm, I'd take my timeout right now, because they're on their heels by and large. 50.3 seconds left. This line, Bancroft, has been very, very good. But certainly the line for South that's picked it up this period is the one that's out there with Sorensen, Narveson, and Mock.
Well, here's Crary. Doesn't have any help. He gets ridden off the puck right away. Burdick back to center ice.
Left Crary out there with this second line.
Now Malk racing in for South. Centers, nobody there. Now back the other way. It's Crary. He gets ridden off by Burdick again. Bancroft centers. Chance in front. Red River. Right on. But Buchholz there for the save.
And the captain looks to the sky. What a great setup is Red River with a tremendous chance with 18 seconds left. And Bryce Anderson, the captain, look at this on the replay. The nice pass over, and boy, Buchholz again squares up and stays right with him. great play for Fargo South. It could have been all over.
Now here's Huey. One more chance, possibly for South. That doesn't work. Lukey back.
We're going to overtime.
I think that
5.8 seconds left. And boy, did Red River, Bryce Anderson's going to dream about that one. He's still looking up to the sky saying, what did I do? But a great save by Scott Buckles. That's his 19th. 56 shots between these two goaltenders, 2 goals between the two teams.
Clock down to 3 seconds, and we will go to overtime. Tied up at 1 apiece.
Well, keep the pizza shop open.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be cold. But what a great semifinal game we've seen between these two teams and these two goaltenders. And Mike Peluso sitting with his demons right now, relaxing, saying, let's play 3 or 4.
Exactly. He's probably the one guy that doesn't mind this too much.
Not at all.
It's the same in practice, right? Players don't try to put somebody else in position. Bring your actions in. When we get the puck on the wall, we cannot hope to get it out. No, we can't have a guy shooting his own and we're hoping to get it out. We got to be in the defensive side of the puck. Does that make sense?
Hey, let's go, boys, huh? I'm hoping to put that rebound back in his pad. Not in his stomach.
That was a sound inside the Red River bench. How about Fargo South?
Hey, same thing not happening last year, boys.
Work your ass off and let's finish this shit. Come on, guys, go hard. It's an overtime.
It wasn't in their own end, boys. It wasn't in their own end.
Hey, this is a dog fight, boys. Dog fight. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up.
Let's go, boys. Show some heart here.
Let's go. Keep it up. Everything going on net. Drive hard. Steve, when you shoot it, make sure it gets through. Don't get it blocked.
All right, Scott, let's have a little fun here. We got to figure out who's going to score the winning goal here, right?
We get to pick, huh?
Yeah, here's the tying goal here, the one to put us into overtime, Narveson. And that looked at a point like we thought the gates might open. And Fargo South did continue to put a lot of pressure on. Aaron Mellon, he stopped them all. Fargo South had the last chance. Scott Buckles did his job down at the other end. We're going to overtime.
You want to pick?
Oh, I love to pick.
Okay.
Well, for Red River, I got to go back to the guy that's been big for them all year long, and Russell Prairie, who's been rather quiet tonight. But again, he's a guy that doesn't need much space, and if he gets a chance, he'll put it away. And go over on the other side. Let's go with Josh Hughley.
Okay.
That may be a little bit more off the wall, but I just think like Josh is going to be the right guy in the right place at the right time.
Well, for Red River, I'll take Jordan Bancroft. I think he's been really active tonight in both games that I've seen here at the tournament.
I'll also give you a small bet it happens in the first 2 minutes.
Okay. And I'll go with Tyler Sorensen for South. We both picked off the wall. 8 minutes on the board. Tim doesn't think it'll take that long. We'll see. South wins the draw. There's a good chance for Orson there. Just couldn't find the puck. Now it's centered. Loose in front, but steered away by the Riders. Burdick sends it in. Orson tried for the deflection. Hughley with it. Now back up to the point. Burdick will wind up. He shoots that one wide. Hughley slips as he chases it, but still gets there. Puck kept in momentarily. And now gets back out to center ice. Burdick able to get there and send it back into the Rider zone. A couple Fargo South players go off on a change. Burdick still back there. Long pass up to neutral ice. A little too far for Stelrek. couple players upended. And finally it's covered up. Couple little shots in there.
Cut that out.
Wayne and Sorensen have a face-off.
Well, you know, again, we had 2 penalties at Fargo South in the first. We had a double for each team in the first, but we have not had a penalty in this game since. It's been very well played. Great chances at both ends. Both goalies just spectacular, and here we are in overtime in a one-shot game.
Couple deflections. Dahl in front. That one deflected and goes off the screen.
Yeah, I just took a little too long to get that one away. He smelled it, just couldn't quite get the snap of the wrist quick enough. 6:46 left. Again, down to 2 lines for each team.
Leier gets it over to Wayne, who winds up that one shot wide. Narveson back around the boards. Leier with a shot. Oh! Goal! Buckles didn't see it. Red River's moving on to the championship.
Well, we got the first part, or last part, right, in under 2 minutes. But what an odd goal to finish the game. You got to feel for Scott Buckles. And Red River controls the draw, as is so often the case. Came back to point. He just threw it on net. And we have an upset of significant proportion here.
I would agree.
Red River, who in the semis last week were crushed by Grand Forks Central 6-0, obviously came back and were ready for this one. And Aaron Mellon is no question the story for Red River getting into the finals here tonight. So what a tough loss for Fargo South after just a spectacular year.
The 3rd loss of the year for Fargo South. Grand Forks Red River goes to 19-7. More importantly, they go to tomorrow night's championship game. Just under the crossbar, over the shoulder.
Again, very innocent. But as a goaltender, when you don't get a look at it until the last second, boy, it's hard to stop. A spectacular there for Scott Buckles, almost a 93% goaltender. He had 19 saves tonight, only gave up the 2. And Aaron Mellon did what he had to. He was absolutely the best player on the ice. So a lot of credit to Matt Malm. He had his guys well prepared, without a doubt. They played exceptionally well here, and I guess we're ready to go downstairs with one of the players for Fargo South, their goal scorer, Grant Narveson.
We're hoping to, so maybe we'll check in with the winning side here first. And one of the Blondies on the ice. Scott, go ahead.
I'm here with Ian Leier, who just scored the game-winning goal in overtime. Ian, walk me through that goal.
The puck just came out to me to the point. Got it on my stick, just fired a shot. Might have tipped something in front, just went in upper tag.
Now, this is a team that's beaten you twice so far this season. How good does it feel to get this one?
Oh, it feels great. We feel like we played good against it the first 2 times. We lost them in overtime once at home. Lost them by quite a bit down there, but we played really good today.
Now, you were in the state championship last year. You have another shot this year. How exciting is it to get back there?
Oh, I'm really pumped. Kind of want to do it for the guys last year. They had a tough loss last year. We want to redeem it for them.
All right, Ian Leier, game-winning goal in overtime. Congratulations and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, Brian, we'll head it over to you now.
All right, thanks a lot. Here with Grant Narveson scoring the lone Bruin goal tonight. And Grant, sometimes the puck just takes funny bounces on you. You outshoot them by 15 shots. You felt like you did everything you do to deserve the win. Sometimes it's just the way hockey goes, isn't it?
Yeah, we did all we could, but just wasn't enough tonight.
You know, as you look and you kind of felt you're overcoming them a little bit. You guys had a little more jump in the 3rd period, even though you guys shortened it up a little bit. Do you feel like you were wearing them down with your physicalness and everything else?
Oh yeah, once we got that first one in the 3rd, I thought we were going to take it to them, just get the W, but it just wasn't the case, I guess.
Well, you still got one more to go, and EDC regular season champs. It's still been a great season, so good luck in the 3rd place game tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks very much, Brian. The Grand Forks Red River with an upset. and they will move on to the championship. Tim and I will return with the North Dakota Propane Gas Association players.